Okay. Okay, welcome everybody. This is the Tuesday, May 28th, 2013 meeting of the Auburn School Building Committee. And if we could open with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Well, now all the fun starts. Thanks to the town meeting members and voters and everybody getting us all the approvals we need. Now we're moving forward. So 24 months from now, we'll be talking about the ribbon cutting ceremonies, if all goes well. Let's jump into. Let's jump into this. First item on the agenda is citizens' comments. There are none. Second item is the approval of the meeting minutes from March 20th meeting, which are attached and were attached in the packages.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of March 20th, 2013.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? If none, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? It's a vote. All right. Next item is an update from Skanska on our schedule moving forward and all the stuff that we're going to be looking for as we're proceeding here. So,
good evening and congratulations to you all. I know it's been quite a few years of a lot of work. It's paid off, and here you go. We're going to start moving forward into the design. What I've got in front of you is actually a schedule. We have updated this with LPA. And what you're looking at is the debt exclusion vote, which is already passed to 521. And now we're going into the amending of the contracts and immediately going into design. If you look at ID number 5, design development will start almost immediately. That will be going through near the end of August. During that time, we'll also have submissions to MSBA. We'll be doing different approval processes, developing site packages, early packages to try to get into the ground as soon as possible. Once the completion of that and it's submitted to MSBA, we'll immediately go into construction design documents. That'll last about 5 months, and it'll take us through the end of this coming January of 2014. Once that is complete, or actually during that process, what we'll immediately start doing is going into the selection of a construction manager and trying to get them under contract as quickly as possible. That can be seen in line item number 16 in front of you on the schedule. We hope to have the construction manager on this project under contract by the end of July of this summer. We'll anticipate with the construction documents being complete, we should have an approved guaranteed maximum price with this construction manager by March of next year, and starting construction with a completion date of July the 7th, 2015, and then allowing Auburn about 2 months to completely move into the school and be prepared for the school opening of 2015. The next thing with the schedule is the commitments and the requirements that'll be required as we go through this process. I just kind of want to give everyone a kind of a description of what will be presented to us. During this process of the design development, we'll be making multiple submissions to MSBA. During that process, they will be making quite a few responses. For many of you, it will seem like some things are going very slow. However, stuff's happening in the background. At some point, though, we'll be coming to you with a lot of information. We'll be needing answers quickly. Selection of materials, selections of colors, different schemes, things like that. So this is something that will be coming within your future, and we'll prep you for it and make sure that you're prepared as we get closer to that. The next thing, we're actually looking for authorization to submit the construction manager at risk application. This is a application. I've actually already started it. It'll probably be about 100 pages once it's done. I have to submit it to the IG's office. Within 6 weeks, they will approve or disapprove. Never had a disapproval to this point yet, but an approval to have a construction manager at risk, at which point we'll go out, we'll do advertisements, we'll start a selection process, and again, like I had stated on the schedule, try to get them under contract by the end of July. And the last part that we'll be actually coming to you about is the development. I have DARS, I apologize, it's actually a construction manager application review subcommittee. We'll be looking at having approximately 3 volunteers from the school building committee. These 3 people will sit down with LPA and Skanska. When we go through this process to get a construction manager on board, we're going through the advertisements. These construction managers will submit proposals. It'll be our responsibility to go through these proposals, rank them, or go through and evaluate them, and then also going through the process of interviewing and narrowing it down to finally come to a selection of the construction manager that you would like to use on this project. That's something you guys are welcome to do tonight, but I would like to give you at least a little bit of idea. I know LPA, Skanska, myself, and Dell have had a lot of construction managers already coming to us. When you get their packets, it could be hundreds of pages long. So I just want to make sure that you understand that your commitment to be a part of the selection committee for at least a couple of weeks period is pretty substantial. You'll have to read through everything. You're going to have to document a lot of stuff, and then we're all going to have to get together and evaluate and compare our notes and stuff as we go through this process. So I'd like you to think about it. If that's a part of the subcommittee you'd like to participate in, I'm sure you can go to Mark or volunteer. But like I said, at some point very soon, we'll need to have at least 3 members or 3 people be a part of this. With that, I'm pretty much done. Mark, if you wanted to, if there's anything you wanted to discuss about the construction manager at risk application or getting approval.
No, I just on the going through the CM stuff. I mean, I think the subcommittee would like we did with the CM or OPM and architects, that they would do some shortlisting and then bring it in. Then the full interview would come before the entire committee.
Correct. It's to narrow it
Everybody
down to at least the most, the 3
Top 3.
top 3 for the entire school building committee. There's no reason to have everybody go through all these qualifications. And this is set up with the ranking system and numbering and stuff like that. So it's very time consuming, but it does limit, I guess, the rest of the school building committee from having to go through that process.
The other thing the schedule doesn't have is a lot of the is the broad brush. I know it's getting into the details, but starting to do all the presentations and stuff before the different boards and committees in town that we need approvals from.
Yes, we'll be setting up meetings where it's doing the planning, the zoning department, and things like that. Once we get under contract and get this stuff going, we'll actually be scheduling those meetings. If I started to include this, you're correct, Mark, into this schedule, we would have quite a few pages, but that is something I'll share with you as we start developing those plans and actually creating those dates and putting them into the schedule. Is there any questions about the schedule, or? Okay. So then I think we would need to see about, at least if Skanska can have approval to move forward and submit the construction manager at risk application to the IG's office on you all's behalf.
Do you want a motion to that effect?
Yes, sir.
I'll make that motion.
Second? Okay. Any discussion? No, I mean, we did, I don't know how many months ago it was, decide when, in some of our earlier applications, that we were going to go that way, and it afforded us, what, 2 points, I think? Extra reimbursement points?
Something like that.
1.
Or is it only 1?
Yes.
I can't remember. Okay.
Yes.
Better than none.
Yes.
I mean, so we had, you know,
Right.
think it's
This
just authorizing
application will
justice to go
need,
further
you know,
from what we've already
signatures
decided on
from
before.
Mark, from the town solicitor, people like that, so it's.
So if everybody's okay, then all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? That's a vote.
Okay. And again, if anyone's interested in being a part of this construction manager at risk
Well,
process, please let
Yeah,
us know.
I think, I mean, we're gonna start to have these meetings monthly now, because obviously there's gonna be regular invoices, there's gonna be a lot of stuff happening, so, because there's also another item after LPA gets up about the project management team, so there's some
Right.
side commitments and stuff, so if we maybe talk about it tonight, and then we're a little lean on our members for tonight, but if we, you know, think about it, and then come back at the next meeting and we'll try to put those two subcommittees together.
I'll be happy to send out an email to all the school building committee members with a real description of what's going to be involved so that everyone knows. And okay.
Okay. Eric?
Thank you, Mark. First of all, congratulations to everybody, and thank you for everyone's efforts. It was an overwhelming show of support by the town to vote to pass the funding for the new school. We have a very aggressive schedule moving forward. Now, as we say, the real work starts. We are going to move very quickly into the site permitting part of the project. We have to go through site plan approval, and as Mark mentioned, we have a number of local approvals and Conservation Commission and Planning Board and others to get through. We met last Wednesday, the morning after the vote, with Dale and Paul Lamero Pagano to look at the schedule moving forward. One of the things that came out of that meeting, or actually a couple of things came out. One is the decision to get the CM on board as soon as possible. And one of the reasons for that is that there are some early packages, bid packages, things like site work and foundations and structural steel, so that those can be put out using the CM at risk process earlier. We don't need to wait until all the drawings are done to bid the project all at once. Those packages can be put out early with the CM at risk's involvement, and the sooner we get them on board, the better. So that's advantageous. One of the things you will be seeing shortly, if you haven't already, is Lamero Pagano's proposal for a fee amendment based on the completion of the design development documents through the project closeout. It's very important. Lamero Pagano is willing to move ahead on a notice of intent, but we do have other consultants. We've been securing contracts with those consultants, and we can't finalize that until we ourselves have a signed contract. So that's something we've sent that to Skanska, and they're in the process of reviewing it, and you should be seeing that shortly. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Yeah, I just missed, what is being submitted? What are we talking about? I heard
We have
a fee or adjustment or something like that.
Our original fee was for the feasibility study portion of the project. Feasibility study and schematic design, which basically ended with the debt exclusion vote.
Okay.
We had one amendment to that, which increased it just over $40,000 for the site survey, the geotechnical test program, and the traffic study. This will be Amendment 2, and what this does is it authorizes us to prepare design development drawings, construction documents for bidding the project, and our services for construction administration through the project from the beginning of construction through project closeout.
Okay, you're saying this is an amendment, but in reality, this would be the first time this number's going to come before us.
Well, actually, it is and it isn't. In the form of a proposal, it is the first time you've seen it.
Yeah.
The numbers have been carried in the total project budget that was submitted to MSBA. So
remember that big complicated spreadsheet? The numbers are in there and part of that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay. Next item is just another subcommittee that through the high school project we had put together as a project management team, and they met more frequently than the once a month. They met sometimes twice a month, in between the meetings. And it was basically to review change orders and other issues that were happening on the site, and then report back at the full board meeting or committee meeting for the final votes and everything. So it, you know, it was just a added level of eyes looking at stuff and then being able to report it back. You know, that other people have looked at it a little bit more. So, not that I'm asking for volunteers tonight, because it's the same with the, that we had just talked about, the, you know, the CM stuff, that it is gonna require some more you know, additional commitment for the next couple of years on doing the work, so think about it. And, you know, hopefully next time we have a few more people here and we can put that together, but I believe it was 5 people we had on it when we went through the high school, and seemed to work pretty well with being, you know, extra eyes to review stuff in between meetings and stuff, and then bring it back to the monthly meetings. So that aside, then there's next item is 2 invoices I think we have here. Now, is this the final on our? This is final from on the schematic design and feasibility study. Right. I mean, I only have Lamar Pagano's here.
Oh, we have one more.
That's what I was gonna say. I was wondering where yours was. Okay. But I think as we reported last time, I think we were still projecting a savings on the $600,000 overall budget for that feasibility schematic design. So hopefully we'll have that all recapped for the next meeting with your final bill. All right. So I got the 2 bills there. If we can entertain a motion to pay each one.
Sure, I'll make a motion, we pay Lamar Pagano invoice 1207-1303 in the amount of $2,734.
Second.
All right, any discussions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That's a vote.
And then I make a motion that we pay Lamar Pagano for invoice 1207-1304 in the amount of $575.
Second.
All right, any discussions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That's a vote. All right, the only other thing is, any other issues that people need to bring up, bring forward, discuss at the moment, as they're getting going? I think Tuesday nights were the good night for everybody. I'm not, yeah. I mean, we're all here, so it's good for us, right? I know we're just coming off a holiday, so it's a little tough, but so I'm trying to look at my calendar here. When do we want the next one? Do we want it later in June, like the 18th or the 25th, or?
So must be June 18th?
18th works.
Gonna do the 18th? Okay. Okay. So we'll make the next meeting Tuesday night, June 18th, here at 7 o'clock. Okay. So if there's no other issues that people need to bring up tonight, we'll
Make a motion
make
to
it
adjourn.
Okay. Second. A second. Okay. All in favor? Aye. And we'll see you in a few weeks, and we'll start to ramp up from here. So, thank you, everyone.
Yep.